Hold on. What? You were talking. What you did? But you never no. Because you're supposed to prepare yourself to learn, not prepare yourself to socialize. And 30 seconds to focus. Molly, you want to go? Oh no. Alright. One of the ways that we can all be better at, one thing that we can do is trying to be empathetic. Empathetic is when you try to think about other people, why they do the things that they do. Okay? Understanding, if you were them, you would do the same things. Right? And at the end of the day, whether we like somebody, they're our friend or not our friend, we root for them. We want them to do well. You should want every single person at this school to do well. Okay? That's what you should want. That's being truly empathetic. Carla, can I help?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is that what you feel like in empathetic?
You don't have to do anything right now.
Okay.
Just listen. Right? So that's this big idea. Okay? How can we be more empathetic? How can we understand that we'll never truly know why someone's doing what they're doing? We're not inside their brain. Okay? Can we forgive? Can we root for people? Okay. At this point, I'd asked you to make 3 pages. One that says Cycle 1 model, another one that says Cycle 2 model, and another one that says Cycle 3 model. You will only do that and work on these when I ask you to make models. Okay? At no other point will you write. Okay? When I say about cycle, I'm talking about like days A through E. Okay? So this is the first cycle of this unit. All right, and we're going to be going back to those model pages over and over. So that means on a different page, where like in a normal day, normal notebook, you have today's session, which is what, 3.5, and then you do the work there. So what does that mean? Here, so on our notebook pages, on our session pages, our days, we want the title, which is 3.5 today, the goal, which I'll show you, vocab, 3 questions, phase work if we do it, the work of the day, okay? The mini thing, the IMYC connection at the end. On the cycle model page, we're just doing our models, okay? And then we'll go back and we'll fix them if we need to change anything about it. Okay? Any questions about the expectation? Because some people are starting to do work on the model page. Please don't do that. The model pages are just for models. Yes, ma'am?
But so far we put that session 3.5.
That would just be on a separate page, not on your model page.
Okay.
And then you have a separate page for models.
Like this.
Yep. All right, so here's today's. Did you have a question?
Yes, what's lesson today?
3.5. Today's goal, I can create a model that shows how I think seeing works in a specific situation. How I think.
But
We don't have to know at this point. It's how we think.
That goal is not like in the pages of the model.
It's not on the model.
Is session what?
3.5. It's posted at the beginning of class. Your job is to come in and read instructions and write that stuff down, not ask later, because that just interrupts them. Absent. Oops. Absent. All right. This next thing you do not have to write down at all. Okay. This is just to make you aware. All right. By the end of today, you will have been successful if you have 5 clear observations from the station rotation we're going to do. That you draw a model that includes yourself and an object. That you use arrows or labels to show what you think is happening, even if you're not sure, which is okay. You don't have to write anything down. And that we marked our confidence on the main thing. That's success today. You do not need to write anything down. This is success today. So if you've done this, you've had a successful day. Okay. Any questions about this before we move on? Okay. We're going to do vocabulary a little differently today. There's only 2 words, light and seeing, and I want you to define them. I want you to write down what you think they are. Later today, you'll have a chance to update and see if you want to change your mind about anything. But today, you come up with the definition. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Okay? We have our questions over here. Can you see an object in complete darkness? What do you think allows you to see an object? Does an object need to make its own light to be seen? Where do you think seeing happens in the object, the eye, or somewhere else? And what part of seeing feels confusing right now, if anything? So we're coming up with those definitions, and we are answering those questions. Hey, good. You write the 2 words down and what you think they mean. Answering every question.
This is like
Try to answer it again.
This is like
You have 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Don't stop working until you've defined light and seeing and answered all 5 questions. If you keep working and you don't finish it, that's fine. But if you stop working, that's a problem. Sophia, what's up?
We are supposed to know these, or
Not necessarily. Some of the stuff you can you'll maybe guess and be correct. Maybe some of you will know for sure, but you don't have to know. It's not an expectation right now. Two more minutes. Seconds. Is there anything you think is confusing right now? Confusing about light, about how we see? That's fine. More eye. which does happen from time to time. If I gave you a piece of paper, please take one and pass the rest back. Please keep this piece of paper, don't destroy it. It is your ticket to break when we go. For the next 90 seconds, take a look at the paper, read through it to yourself, see if there's a word or two that you need help pronouncing, because you could be called on to read. It's only 4 sentences. The last word in sentence 1 is clearly. Sentence 2 may be difficult. That could be a difficult word.
It's all the same.
Yeah, everyone's the same. It's only 3 sentences. All right, we're going to move and start here in a moment. All right, remember, just pay attention, keep in pace. You don't know when you're going to be called. There is only 3 sentences, so only 3 people will talk to this. So, Vicente, go for it. Start us off.
What I read.
Sentence number 1. Yeah.
A student places an object on the table in the room with the lights turned on and can see it clearly.
Perfect. Miguel, read it.
The student then turns off the light and the object becomes difficult or impossible to see.
Perfect. Milagros.
When the lights are turned back on, the object becomes visible again, even though the object itself has not changed.
Okay, so this idea nothing is happening with the object, but something is happening that interferes. You can choose one of these to answer in your notebook. I think the object is visible because, or I think the object is not visible because. So at one point it's visible, at another point it's not. Choose one. Choose one. All right, so we're going to move on about 20 seconds. All right, so I am going to model. The main thing I'm going to model is to make sure we all understand how to do a model, and that it's okay that we don't know 100%. Right? The idea is that we have consequences if we try or if we don't try. Right? You have consequences if you try and you don't know anything. The consequences are positive. You get to find out what you know and don't know. Right? You get to learn. If we get so stressed out that we're not right that we don't try, that's a negative consequence. Right? You're not doing the work. You interrupt your learning cycle. Okay, so just because we're not 100% sure doesn't mean we can't draw a model. Okay, so my example is going to be about smell. You do not need to write anything down. Just pay attention to me. If you have a question, ask. Okay, so I'm going to be modeling the idea of not being 100% sure and still doing a model anyway. Okay. So later today, you will draw your model on cycle 1 model. I'm not going to do that yet because my model is not about light and how we see. So I have, my coffee cup. Coffee cup's in the back. I have a little bit of coffee in it. So when I put my nose over my cup, I smell coffee. And here, I don't smell anything, but here, I smell coffee. Okay. So if I want to draw the system, right, of smell, I would need to add some objects to that system. The first object I'm going to put on that system is the cup or mug. And I also need to add coffee. Okay, so right now I have two objects, a cup and a coffee. The third object I need to have is my nose. Right? Without my nose, I can't smell it. So I'm going to put just a nose, not necessarily mine. I don't have to put my whole face if I don't want to. I'm not taking too much time drawing. Right? You can if you want to, but you don't want to waste too much time. And now I got to figure out the smell. Sorry, one, two. So the smell is moving. So I have to show movement of smell, but I got to figure out what direction. So really off the bat, I know something is going on here. I have my nose and I have the coffee. So now I have to think, what makes the most sense? Does the most sense, is it that the smell is going from my nose to the coffee or from the coffee to my nose? It makes more sense from the coffee to the nose. So then I have to draw the arrow this way, okay? And at the final, for people to know exactly what I'm talking about, I need to label the line. So I'm going to label that line. I could label it aroma or smell or something like that. Okay, is this really in depth, this model? No. Does it completely explain smell? No. All right, but this is a first step. This is the best I can do right now. I haven't studied it. I don't know. Okay, so later today, when I ask you to do a model on site, it's okay if you don't know. Okay, we still try. We try to figure out what's moving. We try to figure out what the objects of the system are. We label things. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Because we're going to keep coming back to that model and fixing it, redoing it, and adding to it the more that we learn. Okay? Your model is your best guess right now. Okay? All right, any questions about the modeling process? Yes, sir. Model cycle 1. We'll do that later today. Okay? Or no.
You're going to do models about what?
I'll tell you later. Okay? We're focused on sight and light. We'll have something to do with that. Okay? All right. Before we go to break, super, I'm going to explain what you're going to do after break. Okay? And then I'll answer some questions and we'll get going. So I've set up 5, how many? 5 different stations. Okay, and your job is to go to every station and make one observation. Okay, how many observations? 1. How many stations? 5. 5 stations, 1 observation per, for a total of how many observations? 5. Because 5 times 1 is 5. The first station, well, not the first one I'm going to talk about, you don't have to go in order, is angle. All right, angle change. So I have a glue stick right here. This lamp will be on, the lights will be off, and you will see it here, and then you will walk over here to the other X, and you will see what changes. Another station is going to be over here. There's going to be a light from my camera. There'll be this cup here. This is called the blocked path station. And here's a piece of cardboard. I'm going to look at the cup, and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to see what changes. Don't overthink this one. Some people are like, I don't understand what's changing. It's very straightforward. I can see the cup, I put this, what happens, okay? Another station is over here. This is called the shadow station. This lamp will be on, these will be shut. We have a stopwatch. This is just the object. You see it in the light, you move it over the shadow. What changes? The fourth station is back here. We have a box. That box has a window inside the box. All right. The first thing you'll do is you'll have the light on, lid open, and you'll open the window. What do you see? After that, you cover the lid completely, or you cover the box completely with this clipboard, and you look again. What has changed? Last. either shiny, versus dull. Flashlight, shine on each one, what changes?
We're just gonna write that down anywhere.
In the set. In the session notes, you'll want to put those down. Great question. Let's get two more questions before we start. Actually, do this real quick. Talk to your partner. I know like we're missing some people. So if you're missing your partner, kind of think to yourself, what are the 5 different stations we're supposed to do it? There you go. Perfect. Yeah, you guys can talk. It's too much. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. The big thing that you need to notice at each station is what, Pablo? Well, you need to, but there's one specific thing I want you to look at each thing. It's what? What's that?
Like life and see.
Hmm?
And
The difference of the shadow and the light.
The changes. So what's changing? Okay, so the very specific thing, the difference is when I have it in the light, in the shadow, when I'm looking at it, I put the cardboard from this angle to that angle, that paper to the aluminum foil, box open, box closed. Okay, what are the differences between the two states? Okay. Your exit slip, right, is the piece of paper that I gave you. So be sure you give that to me when I get back there.
entonces, ¿por qué me dice que escribir? Tenía el mismo virus.
Not yet, that'll be after. Yes, that'll be after. After our rotation, then we'll make them up.
If you look at the Lincoln model and these stations, what are we going to do?
Many things. I reflect on our definitions, reflect on consequences.
Okay, that's literally everything what I'm going to do today.
Yep.
Okay.
Do.
Sí, 6 segundos. Me decían que más oscura.
Ay, oh, esta no siempre es un poco.
Hold on.
Solo hicimos una ronda.
Okay. You have choice as to the order and where you go. Obviously, there's 20-something of us there, so don't put too many people in one spot. You need to make an observation at each place. There is a description of the center in each or the station and what you should be looking for. And remember, you're talking about what changed. What could you see or what could you not see? Okay. Give you about 10 minutes to do that, so that would be 2 minutes per station. I'll tell you when 2 minutes have passed. All right, any questions before we begin?
No, I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
do for the notebook we write like the observation of each station, like if numerated or
Well, do you have to say what station it was?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Just the observation. Great question. Huh?
Like, what are the.
You choose where you are. I'm not going to tell you. All right. That was short. You remember on this one, looking at the X's? Looking on the X's? There's 2 X's. There's 2 X's. That's where you get the number. It's 2 minutes, so let's spend too much time in each one. No, don't rush. That one is just blocking your path. What's that? Not on the session though. No. No, you're just blocking your path. You're just doing this. Just your path. In between your eyes. No, in between your eye and the path. In between your eye. What's that? One thing that changed based on where you were standing. And we do not draw you yet, it's just, this is what I know.
Esta station que es.
O tiene que pasar un minuto.
Si tú no lo escribiste, pues ya te puedes ganar.
Esa station que es.
Máximo.
O tiene que pasar un minuto.
¿Buen qué?
Es el ladito.
Pasaron 2 minutos.
All right, it's been about 2 minutes. You should have one observation written down. Make your way to the new one. And be sure you look through the window.
Se le cayó la cosita que hace tantana esto.
There you go. Not in the models, on the session notes. On the 3.6 or 3.5, sorry.
Si te metes, no sé.
Tienes que poner esto para justamente en el momento que está eso así, para ver qué cambio hay, para ver qué cambio hay cuando no lo ves, si hace cambio, y ponerte por eso en tu vista, bloqueando la vista al vaso, hacer un cambio.
No, así no. No lo hagas caja. No lo hagas caja. Ponlo plano. Y muévelo así. Para que veas que cambia. No veo nada. Pues por eso no le tienes que poner mucho lógica. Simplemente pues ve que cambia.
You can see each one. Is there one you see better?
Ah, es así, no. Sí, es así.
There is no luz. No hay luz. Tapa la luz.
No, literal, que era así. Ah, tapa la reflexión.
What's the change here?
Mr. Light, we do like this. Mr. Light, we do like this with the harbor.
No, just in front of it says blocks the space between object and eye.
That here I cannot see it.
There you go.
Look,
Another 2 minutes. You should have at least 2 observations.
when the cardboard is up, you can see.
Moving on to your third station. And we should start over here. Shadow. So we have the object here, the light.
Como que se ponía, como que un lado se pone la presa, o que se la tapa el ojo con la luz.
Sé que hay veces que hay de cuando está la luz y cuando no está la luz. La diferencia, ¿qué diferencia es? La asistencia, la sombra.
And this one, remember, it's the angle, guys. We stand here, we stand here and look, and then stand over there. What changes? This one is the most difficult.
O yo no sé si
At this point, you could probably have been to 3 stations and have 3 observations. We do have 4 more minutes left. No, it blocks the path between the cup and your eye.
Acá no se ve una
No, not the light.
No, like
This too.
like this. Like you can see the shadow.
What changes?
Okay. Bueno.
Tommy, mañana vamos a mega pesca.
Sí, a mí la pesca.
Pues es en la queda como a media hora en mi casa.
Desde la mía te quedaré como a 2 horas y media.
O sea, vos te bajas conmigo y luego se...
Across the cardboard briefly blocks the space between the object and eye.
Y si quieres te pescar a dormir en mi casa.
Algo que te dice esto.
No creo.
Ah, va.
Eso yo no creo. Pero vamos a
You're just blocking your eye, the path between
Pues es
the
que
object
llegamos
and your eye.
tarde porque yo me
Like
conmigo
that.
a las 4.
What changes?
No, pero that's so
Pues
easy.
vamos allá a 4:30, nos demoramos media hora. 5. Sin ir a pescar a las 5.
¿Vos en una pescas? Yo pesco, pero no más. Vamos a pescar. Mira, esto está frío.
Ay, allá te organizan la carne.
¿Vos has ido a pescar aquí? Es que también no sé. ¿Has ido a pescar aquí?
Allá te ponen la línea.
Cállate a ver qué es lo único que te sacas.
Sí, a ver, tú bebes de 2 libras. Entonces,
Oye, toma a ver cuál es tuyo.
Alright, we're gonna do the final 2 minutes. Make sure you've done each station. Make sure you have 5 observations about what changes.
Yo pesqué una vez en el mar, yo pesqué una barracuda de ese tamaño. En el mar.
No jodas.
Sí.
pero tu bebé de agua dulce. ¿Crees que la
Oye, dame este es que.
tu bebé es la que importa de agua dulce? La trucha que nos sacamos de carne.
Ay, yo era como.
Oye,
O sea, es como ir a Vallasolán, pues. Oye, bueno, ¿cuál es esto?
vaya,
Ah, mira, ¿cuál es eso?
Oye, ¿qué nos falta?
la ya está subiendo.
Ya. Creo que llevas.
100 seconds.
Espérate que tengo que terminar.
Sí, entonces.
A ver. When I see the cup without the carton, it's different than with the carton.
This one? No.
Without the curtain. Sí, que.
Ya te lo dije.
Without the curtain, it's
Eli, ¿cómo puedes escribir así? Cada vez cámbiate eso.
No todo el tiempo para escribir.
At this point, check in with your partners. Share observations with each other. Are they the same? Are they different? What did you see? What did they see? I am 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Anybody have a big difference between 2 observations at the same station, or was everybody pretty aligned? Everybody pretty aligned? No big difference? Yeah. You and your partner? Well, what did we think changed here? The angle. There we go.
From one side, like from one in the cup, from one side, like it goes all full, but from the other, like only a part.
Ah, interesting. Anybody see something different? That changed? Anybody notice anything about the shadow that it made? The shadow moves, right? That would be another thing that you could have written. Okay, now you are going to turn your page to the Cycle 1 model page. Okay? We are going to make a model. You're going to look at this model again tomorrow. Okay, that's why we're keeping it on one page. You can make it about half a page. Right? You don't want to go 2 pages. Right? And if you make it too small, revising it's going to be a problem.
We can do like a little
I'm going to tell you.
So one more would
So-
like half a page.
About half a
Half
page.
this page.
Yeah, about half a page. Okay, so what are you going to make a model? Whoops. There. Choose one station and one object that you saw. It could be the paper, it could be the glue stick, could be the cup, could be the stopwatch, could be the eraser. Okay? It's up to you. Okay, and draw a model of you and the object. Okay?
of me.
Yep, you, because you're the one that saw it, right? So make sure you are in the model. Make sure the object is. Add arrows if you think something is moving. So what's moving? Something is moving. What do you think? It's okay to be wrong. And labels explain the arrows. So those are the requirements for the model. Let's just have a few minutes to do that. Go ahead. What's moving? What do we label that arrow? Again, taking chances if we're not sure. Of one object that you saw today. You and the object.
Of any station.
Anything. Make sure you put yourself and the object.
Like this is.
And try to label your arrow. That looks like an object. Or that looks like a ball. Another 90 seconds.
One model for each one.
Just one model. Just one. Just pick one object. that you saw. And don't get caught up on drawing. We get the label stuff. Try to make it simple, the drawing.
Voy a buscar con solo la voy a buscar con solo una.
One more minute. However you see. There's no just one line. When I say cycle, I mean like days A through B. All right, for another 30 seconds. Actually, less. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, we'll revisit these. We'll revise them. We'll see what we're thinking about. See how our thinking changes throughout the cycle. Take a moment. You made up a definition for light and seeing. Do you want to change it? You can keep it. You don't have to tell me. Just take a moment, look at it. Does anything occur to you that's different? Just about 20 seconds. You don't have to change it. It's up to you.
I was always with you.
9:30, and we're going to get out early. We're just going to have a request. We first need to do the mini thing, and checks and stuff. I might have time tonight to at least make one cookie and bring that in tomorrow. And then you would get your second cookie probably on Monday. You might get one tomorrow and one on Monday, or you'll get two on Monday. When we release, we'll do the trivia. This is what I ask of you, because if you don't do this, then I don't do this again. Okay, we are about finished. So when you're dismissed, you can leave and go to your locker and get what you need to get, but do not go to the cafeteria. All right? You go to the cafeteria after 9:25. Okay, don't go there immediately. Okay? You get out a little bit early. All right. All right, so this goes in your session 1 or session notes, the 3.5, not the model. Do not put this on the model. Huh? All right, question 1. Can you see an object in complete darkness? That is the key, complete darkness. People have developed some good arguments about this, but the idea is complete with utter darkness. And the answer is no. Because if you can see an object, if it like shines or it illuminates itself, that's not complete darkness.
I can only know about Mr. Light.
I mean, it's always better to explain.
Well, then it's glow in the dark.
But it's glow in the dark, it's making its own light, so it's not complete darkness.
Like maybe like it's
I can't know because
But it's not complete darkness, you won't see it.
no, because you can only see an object when you have light.
Question 2, what do you think allows you to see an object? What allows you? There's one thing that has to be there. There's another thing you could add. But there's one that has to be there. Okay. Because when you're looking in complete darkness, your eyes are there, you cannot see it. It can't just be your eyes. Okay, so the main thing is light. There has to be light. Yes, you do have to look at it. The main thing is light. Light helps us. Remember, after the mini thing, we still have one more thing to do, or a couple things to do in our notebook, the IMYC connection with consequences, and you checking your work to make sure you had a good day. So don't put them away. All right, number 3, does an object need to make its own light to be seen? And that would be no. Right? Light has to shine on it, but it doesn't have to make its own light. We got another question?
not necessarily.
Yeah, not
I
necessarily.
could only know.
Yeah. For now. Where do you think seeing happens? In the object, the eye, or somewhere else? There are 2 acceptable answers. The one thing you could say is the eyes. The other thing you could say is the brain. And then lastly, this is for you personally. At this point, do you find anything confusing about seeing, the idea of seeing? Some people have written down color. If you think about color, color is actually pretty confusing. Like, why do we see color? Why do we not see certain colors? But if there's nothing confusing right now, you can say nothing. Because the answer is up to you. I'll take about 30 seconds to answer the question about consequences. So when light changed at a station, what was the consequence? That's too bad. I'll let you do it. So what was the consequence when light changed? What was the consequence? Or when you changed your spot, what was the consequence? Consequence, so a result. So if I'm here and I move, there's a consequence. Right? What was the consequence? I put a lid on top. What's the consequence? I move it into the shadow. What's the consequence? And take a moment. How'd you do? Do you have 5 clear observations? Do you have a model that has yourself in it and an object? Did you show arrows even if you weren't sure? And did you mark your confidence rating on your big committee thing? If you did, you had a great time, a great day. I will start trivia when everything is pushed in. There's a random chair like this. That we need to be